So if you've already decided that an energy vampire is feeding on you, how do you protect yourself? How do you stop it? How do you do this ethically? That's what we're going to talk about today, so stay tuned. Good morning, everybody. I don't know if it's morning. Welcome back. I missed you guys. And if you're new here, welcome. My name is Amy. I am a witch, spiritual guide, and energy healer. I make videos every day. If you love this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell button, and share the video with other people that you think would also find value in it. Today we're going to talk about how to protect yourself if you've already realized that an energy vampire has been feeding on you or your energy. I don't want to scare you. There are so many ways to protect yourself. Today we are going to discuss 3. Only 3. If these 3 are not the 3 that resonate with you, if these methods don't work for you, please leave me a comment down below. We will figure something else out. There's a lot of information out there, and I'm sure that if you did some research, you could find a lot of credible sources for what to do about energy vampires. I have been through this a lot in my lifetime, and so I'm very personally experienced with energy vampires, and I am here to help you. So, without further ado, the first thing that you need to do to protect yourself from an energy vampire is you need to isolate the source. Who is that person? You need to find them. You need to figure it out. And chances are you already know. It's probably pretty obvious. If you watch the previous video, you probably have a pretty good idea of who this person is. But if you don't, you need to find out. And then you have to decide what they are to you. You have to decide if you can have physical space between you and this person, at least more often. Can you not text them every day, or can you not be in the same room as them all the time? Is this somebody that you have to spend time with? Do you feel obligated to spend time with them, or do you genuinely love spending time with them? These are questions you need to ask yourself, because the best and first and greatest defense against energy vampires is to not be near them. Now, I understand that this is not always practical and it isn't always going to work. And what happens when you encounter one and you don't know them personally? What happens when you're in a grocery store and this happens to you? Okay, there are more. The second thing you can do is create an energetic shield in your energy field. Think of this as like your aura field, or like if you've ever seen Star Trek and you saw like containment fields that would go up just around a single person. It's like a cylinder of energy, right? You might not be able to see it, but you can visualize it, you can feel it, you can make it happen. It's the same sort of energy manipulation we do in a lot of our meditations and a lot of our spell work. If you can manipulate energy, you can do this. And your guides can help you. If you have an animal guide or a spirit guide and you already have made a connection with them, you can ask them, please put a protective barrier around me. However you want to say it, communicate with your guides and let them know that you need their help with your shield, with your energy barrier, and they will come to your aid. It will happen immediately. I have 2 guides that help me with my energy barrier, and anytime I'm feeling like I can't fuel it myself, I used to always try to put this energy barrier up around myself using my own energy and my own will. And if you just ask your guides to help you, they will do it. I have multiple layers of very potent shielding around me. And it isn't just from energetic attacks. I mean, it's to help me make more wise decisions and to help me not stand out in a crowd to somebody who means me harm. I mean, your guides You have them for a reason. Their personality traits and your personality traits go together for a reason. They are going to be the best to help you put up this barrier. If you do this, you put up this barrier. If you don't have one up all the time, say you're around your vampire, you put up your barrier, you should feel that tugging of your energy cut off. And you might even notice that that person starts to get agitated because they're not getting what they needed from you anymore. And they don't necessarily know why. A lot of them are not aware enough to understand that we can actively protect themselves. Sometimes they're not even doing it on purpose. So it could cause some agitation with that person, which is something you need to be ready for. Interpersonal, like interrelational issues, drama, stuff like that. Drama is a way that energy vampires will use to spike your energy. If they can't get love from you, then they'll get something else. They'll get anger or sadness or anxiety or hatred. They'll start drama so that you have a lot of emotions so that they have something to feed off of. So this energy barrier is a really good thing to do if you can't put physical space between you and your vampire. The third thing that I'm going to mention, and this one you need to be very, very careful with. If putting space between you and your energy vampire doesn't work, say you work together and you don't have a choice about working with them, and putting up your energy barrier is helpful, but it's constantly being attacked. This person realizes that you're their source, your source of energy, and so they're trying to continually get in. That can be wearing if you're doing something else, like working a job at the same time. Something else that you can do is send the opposite of good intent outward in your shield. So in your energy barrier, you can visualize, you're not attacking the energy vampire. You don't want to do that. You don't want to start a war I'm just never going to recommend that. What you can do is in your energy barrier, you can imagine an outside layer, visualize an outside layer of this field around you, and imagine that it is filled with poison. Imagine that it is filled with just the feeling of being sick. Imagine that it's filled with thumbtacks or rusty nails, or honestly, the most useful one for me has just been poison, because when they hit that barrier, instead of continually going after it and trying to take energy from it, they'll hit that. It won't feel good, then they'll back off. Only do this if you are being actively pursued by an energy vampire. Never initiate any sort of malintent or unethical conduct toward another human being. Don't do that, because you don't want the karmic repercussions of attacking somebody else. Self-defense is not the same thing as being on the offense. If somebody is actively attacking you and your energy field, it is okay to put an extra layer in your energy field that will deter them. You could even imagine fire. You could imagine like whatever comes to your mind that feels powerful for you. If your guides have something that can help you, mine have electricity and shadow and claws. And so for me, I find that their barriers are ample protection for me. Do what you need to do with your energy barrier to protect yourself. And if you find that that still isn't good enough, honestly, I would suggest going back to number one. You've got to put some space between you and that person. Because if they're that intent on feeding off of you and you are that intent on not being fed on and they're still trying, then that means that they're probably starving, or they've already had a taste of your energy and they can't get enough of it. They're addicted. There's a relationship there that needs to be cut off. If you know how to kill soul bonds, I highly recommend you do that as well. If you don't know how to kill soul bonds or cut soul ties, as my mother says, let me know in the comments down below. I might make a video about that because it's actually been extremely helpful for me in my life and for various other people that I have worked with. Now that we've talked about the 3 most effective methods for protecting yourself from an energy vampire, let me know in the comments down below. Also, if you try these or if you use a different method, what your situation is. I would really love to talk to you about it. If you don't already follow me on Instagram, check me out there. I post almost every single day. And if you like seeing this content from me and you want to see more of it, consider supporting me on Patreon. New patrons at the first tier will receive a free tarot or oracle reading with me, input on future videos, video shout outs with your name, and access to our spiritual community, which we are building together. Okay, guys, thank you so much for hanging in there, and I hope you have a beautiful day.